Not since I was riding have I embarked upon a day quite like today.
Right, it's 4:45 a.m. on Monday morning. We've been told to meet here because we're here at the home of the champion jockey Richard Johnson to find out what it's like, through his eyes, a day in the life of a champion jockey. Now, we've been told to meet here at 10 to 5 because we're going schooling in Lambourne. But we've had a little bit of a touch because originally we'd been told to meet here at 4:20 because we were going schooling for Philip Hobbs down at Minehead. A little bit of a lie-in. Right, Richard, where are we going at this god-earthly hour?
We're off to Lambourne this morning. Obviously got Lingfield this afternoon, so going to go to Warren Great Tricks and do a lot there first on the way to Lingfield.
So it's kind of on your way a little bit.
Yeah, it sort of works out well, and most of the trainers I ride for try and sort of sort out the schooling or the riding out sort of as and when it fits in with the racing as well. But again, yeah, today it sort of fits together. Lambourne on the way.
Perfect.
You wouldn't get one, did it well? Yeah,
I think I've got my iPad. I've downloaded it last night.
That's it. The phone is what I get most of my stuff off.
The clock strikes 5 a.m. The champion jockey grabs his equipment for the day, and it's time to hit the road.
Dickie, Lambourne this morning, which is what, a 2-hour drive from you?
Yeah, it's about 2 hours. So yeah, no, it's not too bad. And again, obviously, like we said this morning, we're on the way to Lingfield. So
halfway house.
It works, fits in well.
So how many mornings then are you riding out on your way racing?
Probably ride out 4 days a week, roughly. Again, we're going to Warren's this morning, so that's sort of trying to call in once a week. Then Henry Daly's once a week.
Well, he's quite local to you, Henry, isn't he?
Yeah, he's half an hour down the road, so that makes it a bit easier.
Yeah.
And then again, obviously Philip Hobbs. He's obviously my main trainer that I've ridden for years, and again, he's obviously in the West Country, so it's sort of just slightly on when racing suits.
Yeah.
But yeah, again, hopefully once a week. And then Ollie Murphy as well. He's around Warwick, so again, that's usually quite easy to fit in as well.
So do you kind of geographically plan your days as to where you're riding?
We try to. I usually go to Henry's on a Tuesday. Warren's is usually a Friday. That's sort of their set schooling days. Where the other two trainers, almost Philip with school on a Monday, a Wednesday, and a Thursday. So again, we can tend to work it when racing is in the right area, or I'd stay down maybe the night before. So we're there in the morning.
But I noticed last week I was actually up north. Chepstow was on the same day, and I thought you'd be at Chepstow, but actually, no, you weren't at Chepstow. Where were you?
We went to Ayr. So none of my sort of main trainers had runners. Well, Philip didn't have any runners at Chepstow. Gordon Elliott brought 3 over to Ayr. So the most important thing is for me is riding winners. So you go wherever you can get the best rides, and again, we were lucky enough that we did have a winner up there as well. So it was worth the trip.
We arrive at Warren Great Tricks' Upland stables a little after 7 a.m.
All right, okay.
Bag of wine.
Oh, sit there. Oh.
She's in a box, mate, okay?
Cool, sorry.
Ollie.
I'll say a proper one. Just so we pull out now.
Yeah, we're going to pull it now, yeah.
Cool, right.
Hello.
Schooling has been put on hold, meaning Dickie gets the pleasure of a sit on Star Mare Le Bagawa.
Yeah, so the race in Newbury would be the other box. That would be the up.
She loves it. She'd love it around there.
Sorry?
She'd love it around
Yeah,
there.
she does love it around there. Shame we haven't got a few more chases around there, really.
Yeah.
He's the best. The feedback you get off him is second to none. And it's amazing. You watch a lot of jockeys after they've ridden horses. He tends to be the one that's with the owners and the trainer longer than anybody. He wants to give as much feedback as he can, so that next time either it's gone right and you're looking forwards to better things maybe, or it's gone wrong and how can we put it right? If he's made a mistake, believe me, he's the first one that comes in and says, look, I got it wrong. And that diffuses the situation, it calms everyone down, and it gives everyone confidence going forward that actually it wasn't necessarily the horse or anyone else's fault. You know, you get it wrong, and everyone gets it wrong on one day, but he's willing to do that and move forward. And generally, if he says he'll win on it next time, he will.
She's enthusiastic, but for a filly, you'd rather them. If she was quiet, I'd say you'd think there was something wrong with her. There we go. Come on, again. Well, she's like a fidget. She never gives up. It's fantastic to have connections with the likes of Warren and the new young trainers coming up through, as well as your Philip Hobbs and Henry Daly's. So it's all about, for me, it's about having lots of rides regularly and riding for 3 or 4 big stables. It's fantastic.
Off to Lingfield? Off to Leafy Lingfield?
Leafy Lingfield.
Apparently it's on.
Yeah, well, that's the most.
Warren said.
It's the most important part of the day.
Taking his word for it.
Yeah, so I'll put my head around the door and just tell him I'm on.
Yeah. How important is it to you to be champion?
For me, it's the most important thing. I every season, and it was when I was 18, but obviously it took me a few years to get there. But again, it's always been what I've ambition, I suppose, or my desire to be champion jockey was. When I was growing up, Peter Scudamore was a local lad, I suppose, and he was champion jockey, and that's all I remember thinking was I want to be like him.
Yeah.
So to actually be champion was amazing. But
how difficult was it then? Because when AP was riding, he was champion every year. So how hard was that for you to take personally?
I think probably should ask Fiona really, but I think definitely when I was in my 20s, I found it really difficult. Well, I used to get very frustrated and everything else. I think as I probably got a little bit older, you perhaps deal with things slightly better and you a bit more level-headed. But yeah, when I was younger, if I rode a double, he'd ride a treble, and even though I was only like 20 or 15 behind him, I could never seem to
catch on to his coattails.
Yeah, I was never really ever level with him or realistically pushing him. So again, I had a great time then, but again, it was obviously fantastic to actually become champion, and actually, yes, it's because it was something I'd always wanted to do.
We've only got one request from Richard Johnson, and it's a pit stop because he needs some grub. It's no expense spared here at Sky Sports Racing. A bacon roll and a cup of coffee for £2.50. The bosses will be pleased.
The diet of a jockey.
Right, Dickie, I think there is a cup holder for you there if you need it. Coming up, we head to Lingfield, where events take a sudden and dramatic turn for the worse. After setting off at 5 a.m. and travelling nearly 200 miles, we finally arrive at Lingfield bang on 11 a.m. 1 hour 40 minutes before the first of Richard's 2 rides. It's straight into the weighing room where, to this day, he remains as popular as ever. Don't worry, we'll be good.
The year he was champion, it meant everything to him. I know when you're buying AP McCoy for so many years and having to sit next to him for so many years as well. But no, it was great. It was great for everyone in here when he was champion. Even us valets, like you say, we're with him every day and we see what he's like. And when he was champion, it was great.
He's just solid and consistent. Wow. Even now, the owners get some value for money when Dickie's on board, and you got all his knowledge and all his strength and all his experience. He's something else.
Well, I don't think you need me to add any more superlatives, to be fair. But he's been a great ambassador for a lot longer than I've been riding, and since I've been riding the last 10-15 years or so, he's just been phenomenal. He's been exceptional. The way he's conducted himself and the way he is with all of us is just brilliant and deserves everything he gets.
Day in, day out, big days, small days, always the same person off the horse and always the same person on the horse. I think gives them all 110%, and has done that year in, year out, and got no chinks in his armour anyway.
He may not like me saying this, but there's no escaping the fact that Richard is now one of the oldest in the weighing room. And the young jockeys coming through are now fitter and stronger than ever before. Therefore, it's vital, as champion jockey to stay ahead of the pack, something Johnson has embraced with a new exercise regime to keep himself in tip-top condition.
When I first started doing it, I cringed a bit myself, but obviously without it, I was in so much pain. It was definitely, I found a benefit from it. Well, it's sort of a mixture between Pilates and yeah, just sort of exercise. Because obviously it's probably good for my core anyway, and I think I actually feel sort of stronger now than I felt for a long time. But with my hip, it definitely just gives it a bit more mobility and strength. So hopefully that's probably, and again, not realistically, maybe 2 years ago, if I hadn't have had help, it was getting to a point where it was very sore to ride. So it's definitely going the right way. Everybody wants to be as fit as you can. You know, it's very competitive out there, and you want to make sure you're as strong as the next person.
Parallel side, put your hands up. I can tell you it's.
Yeah, how are you, mate? All right, yeah, nice to see you. You're
Right. Yeah, you're right. See you about all right?
First time Newbury, and he was good, and then I don't know, I shouldn't have run him. I was pushed him to run him.
Johnson's first mount is the Warren Greatrix trained young lieutenant, who was sent to post the red-hot 4-9 favourite to provide the champion jockey with yet another winner.
And they're off and racing for the visitattheraces.com novices hurdle.
After setting what looked to be steady fractions in very heavy ground, young lieutenant is headed 2 from home, and despite Richard's best efforts, can only stay on to finish second.
Black Jerry, with half a furlong left to go, is clear by 4 or 5 lengths, still lugging left-handed and straightened up now by Jamie Moore, but he's doing more than enough. And Black Jerry coming home here in good style.
Good to soft could be lovely. It's just, but look, he's coped with it. But I say he's just bumped into one that's probably not too bad either. And look, he's a winner waiting down. It's just frustrating because we've got this far without him.
The weighing room has always been a hive of activity, but what happens between races is a bit of an unknown. It's 12:55 now, and Dickie's next ride isn't until 2:05.
You've now got a little bit of downtime. What happens in the downtime?
Not much really. It's pretty, obviously everyone's in here, chat and have a cup of tea. Just relax really until, we can look at the paper and look at the form of the races coming up. But obviously, usually by now, you've done all that anyway this morning.
Yeah.
So, it's just relax really and chat. And there's obviously a bit of banter usually between the lads. And you watch the next race it's on and go from there.
And now you've got your colours obviously hanging up for your next ride. Have you already gone through the form of the next race?
Yeah, I spoke to Ollie Murphy on the phone earlier when I got here. Been through the race, through the previous form. I've ridden this mare, 2 of her 3 runs of her life, so I know her quite well anyway. Again, she's a straightforward mare, and again, Ollie's straightforward instructions. So hopefully she comes here with a decent chance, and again, we try and look for a winner.
2 minutes, guys, please.
Hi Richard, how are you?
Yeah, very good. Good to see you again.
Yeah, and you? All good?
Yeah, perfect. I was hoping the Venetians would go along, but I think they decided they didn't want to really go on. There was a couple of others they were going on, and Elaine Aspel said they think they're going to be handy, so I just thought ideally if we could just get them to relax, behind 2 or 3 so that and just go from there. Really.
Just an absolute gent. Great to be around. He can have a laugh, just the kindest man you could ever meet, I'd say.
The owners love having someone like him. Those top jockeys, the owners love having it. It's they think it's a feather in their cap. They've got someone like him, like McCoy in the past, riding their horse. It makes a big difference, and the owners will go to races excited that they'll have Richard Johnson on their side.
Very professional. He treats everyone the same, whether you're a lad having your first ride or a lad that's been there all the time. He'd treat owners, stable staff, all exactly the same. But he's hard as nails as well, hard as nails.
Richard's second ride of the day comes aboard a Perfect Gift, trained by Ollie Murphy. The 11-4 second favourite settled wide in the early stages and appeared to be travelling strongly with a circuit to race. Then, as Richard began to make a move, disaster struck.
They go towards the next flight of hurdles. And a nasty fall. Oh, we got two down there. Mickey Buckman, the first to go. A perfect gift might have been brought down.
On this occasion, both horse and jockey returned unharmed. Josh Moore, rider of the horse that brought down Johnson's mount, took a nasty hit to the face.
Thank you.
A minor scrape in the grand scheme of things, but nevertheless highlighting the danger jockeys face every time they head out to ride. Something Richard himself was to find out just a week later.
Are you going next? No, we'll finish that.
It's very safe to say that did not go to plan.
No, it's the first horse ran well. Probably bumped into one that was probably unexposed.
Yeah.
But yeah, the second horse obviously was travelling really nicely. She jumped and travelled and did everything right, and then got brought down. So yeah, that is definitely not the ideal, or not what I was hoping for.
How do you take that? You know, like obviously it's not your fault. The horse in front of you skittles you down on the floor. You think at that stage, well, I've got a very good chance of winning here.
Yeah, it's just frustrating. I went there with two really good rides. They both sort of run good to a point, and then come out without
not the right result.
We come home without a winner. So again, winners is what we're all looking for.
And the fact that you're actually walking away from the fall is a plus too, I suppose.
Yeah, no. Like I said, again, the older I've got, you realise that I've got 5 good rides tomorrow at Exeter, and hopefully we'll put it right tomorrow, and it's a new day and start again. But yeah, Josh Moore, obviously, who brought me down, he's got a bloody nose, and I'm sure he'll be stiff and sore in the morning. Yeah. So yeah, it could always be worse.
How long more do you think you can carry this on for?
I personally don't think I haven't got a date when I want to stop. It's just a case of I'll ride until I feel actually. I think when sometimes you just think right, time's right, and I'll know when that is. But I've always wanted to be where I am now. Everybody's probably envious of the position I'm in, so I don't see any point stopping.
Right, Dickie, back where we started, 13 hours later, probably not the day you wanted, was it?
Wasn't ideal. Like you say, we thought we did have 2 very good rides, but one obviously got beat in the first, still ran okay, but obviously the frustration is when the one got brought down.
Yeah.
But again, we're home in one piece. Look forward to going racing tomorrow.
We've just had a taster of it today, but this is every day for you.
Yeah, but I think generally, I've done this since I was 16 when I first started, and it's all I've ever known. So I think it'll be a weird thing when it stops.
Yeah.
But again, and that's what it is. It's frustrating today, but the great thing is for us, we can go out and do it again tomorrow and try and make a better job of it tomorrow.
And then is it that that buzz or that adrenaline rush that you get off riding a winner, that hasn't died in you over the years?
Yeah. See, I still think that riding a winner, whether it was today at Lingfield or tomorrow at Exeter or Cheltenham Festival, the buzz of riding a winner is the same thing. Obviously, the Cheltenham Festival, the big races are what we all want to do, but the little days are just as important to me as the big days. And I think when you'll often see a small owner that has never had a winner, like say they don't care if it's pouring rain, freezing cold. If they have a winner, do you mean I get satisfaction out of seeing them just have a winner?
So I think it's probably fairly safe to say that you'd quite like to see the back of us now.
I don't know. I had a nice taxi journey on the way down there. Nice couple of cups of coffee.
Yeah.
Could be a lot worse. So, but no. Look, this is sort of a routine day, I suppose it is, and it's frustrating. But again, it's a job I love doing, and fingers crossed, lots more to come.
Just over a week after filming, Dickie suffered a huge setback from breaking his arm when unseated at Exeter. Faced with at least 4 weeks on the sidelines, his bid for a 5th Jockeys Championship has taken a serious blow. Nevertheless, his hunger for success remains, and regardless of what happens for the remainder of this season, there is no doubt that Richard Johnson will return stronger than ever.